Hi, welcome to my channel. Today I am teaching you a technique using Neville Goddard's SATS technique, but in order to change a subconscious belief. So not in order to manifest, although it is a manifestation, isn't it, in a way, but in order to install a new program. So our subconscious, I mean, it's absolutely fascinating to me, the subconscious. It really is. It's the thing that I read most about these days because I find it absolutely fascinating that we can instruct it anything, and its job is to take our instruction and run with it. Whether we realise we're dropping stuff in or not, that's what's happening, and it's gathering information. And everything in there is, from the start of your life to now, is in there. It's all in there. So often we have things in there that have come with us from childhood. We've just brought them with us into adulthood because we can't do any different, because the subconscious has taken an instruction, but it's unbeknown to us that we've given it an instruction, and it has set a little program running and it is on autopilot. If there's something in your life that just keeps unfolding in the same way, let's say you get into a relationship and it unfolds in the same way every single time, no matter who you are with. So you could say, well, all the people I see aren't even similar types of people, but every time it gets to a certain point and they just pull away completely, and it happens every single time. Well, that isn't coincidence. That isn't an external force at play. That is you at play, and that is a program at play, and it is showing to you because that is what you have instructed your subconscious to do for you, but you've unwittingly done it. So what we are doing is updating the software or installing a new program. Let's say you're installing WhatsApp on your phone. You've never had it on there before, and you install it, and then it runs and it works for you, and you can text people and you can call people on it. So don't worry too much about the old program that's there at the moment. You have set the intention to swap it, to install a new program, and this program eradicates the old program. It just takes over and it runs on autopilot then, but it's what you want. So what you want to do is decide to do this in the state akin to sleep. SATS, Neville Goddard SATS state. So instead of manifesting something, you are installing a new subconscious belief. Subconscious beliefs, we know that they are there, so we can locate them, so we can recognise them, but the majority of the time we're not aware of them because we're just going about our day and living our life, so we are not consciously aware of them. That's what makes them a subconscious belief and subconscious program. So choose about 5 statements. Before you start, set your intention. I want my new subconscious belief to be this, and state it in a sentence to yourself. You're only doing it to yourself, you're telling your subconscious. And then for 5 minutes before you go to sleep, every single night when you're getting into that relaxed state, because that relaxed state is actually when you are most suggestible, and that's why this works so well. And then you're just going to repeat these 5 statements that you've picked for yourself that go in line with this new belief that you want, this new automatic program. It's post-hypnotic suggestion. That's all you're doing here. You are hypnotizing yourself, basically. In its simplest terms, that's what it is. You are very, very suggestible, then you are drifting off into sleep. Maybe you will start drifting off into sleep before you even finish, and that's absolutely fine. Maybe you won't, but it's fine. As long as you're feeling relaxed when you do it. What you might want to do before you start is take 4 really deep breaths, in through the nose and out through the mouth, and then start doing it. So this works so well. If you love the idea of affirmations but you've never really gotten on with them, you're not consistent with them, and you do them one day and then you don't do them the next, then this is ideal for you because you're just making it part of your nighttime routine, just as you might get into bed and read a book for half an hour. This is becoming part of your routine. Can't do you any harm. It's only going to do you good. So you are installing that new program. Just keep doing it, but try not to do it for any longer than 5 minutes, because what we want to do is keep these sessions fairly short so that you know 5 minutes a night, this is what I do to install this new program, and that's it. That's all I need to do, and then I can just forget all about it until the next night and the next night. So I would suggest that before you start, you measure yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. How severe is this? How much does it impact my life? And how do I believe it? How much can I feel it there? How strong is it? 1 to 10, 1 being not very and 10 being very. And then in about 28 days, I suggest that you do it again and see where you are on the scale. See if you have moved. You should have moved at least 1 spot. You should have moved, if not way, way more than that. This is not something that you need to do for months on end. You won't need to do it for months on end, but you need to be consistent with it. So then you might say to me, well, what about just doing a meditation or a subliminal? Yes, they are really effective too, but there's nothing more effective than you making an instruction to your subconscious with your own voice. So I know you're thinking it, but it's through your own voice. Nothing more effective than that. That's always going to be the most effective. And how great is it that you only have to do it for 5 minutes? You don't actually have to do it for any amount of time. You could do it for 2 minutes. You still get a really great effect. But 5 minutes, I think, is a really practical amount of time to do it. It feels like you're really doing something, but you're not overdoing it. And then I would concentrate on one thing at a time, and I would go for the most troublesome first for you, that's showing in reality, the 3D reality that you really don't like. I would do that first and then move on to the next thing. When you feel you've had a significant shift, move on to the next, and then you might just drop this one in every now and again still, or you don't have to. Once it's started to work and it's started to shift, it's started to do its stuff, and actually it's just your intention then coming into form and just being the new program that you have installed. And I think looking at it like that as well, I have installed a new program, makes it seem very scientific, which it kind of is really, just sort of makes real sense of it, I think, and that literally is all that you are doing. So that is how to use SATs when you want to change a subconscious belief. I mean, I used SATs, as I said recently when I did my last video. It was to do with Harry, and it was a gaming channel that he has, and I wanted to see him hit a certain amount of subscribers really fast, and it was quite a lot from where he was, and it was just a week later and he did, and it's been going up like crazy fast since then. And I think that's a real kind of fun thing to do, and you know you're in that suggestible state. So if you're looking to manifest in that state, I think it's the best way to do it, because you don't hold on to any resistance, particularly just seeing like a little Polaroid shot of the outcome that you want, and that's it. Doing it a few times, then going to sleep, done deal. But again, with the subconscious belief thing, yes, you are doing it for longer, but if it becomes part of your nighttime routine, then it's not a chore. It's just you'll probably actually quite enjoy it. And when you see that it's having an effect, I'm sorry, that door keeps banging. It's just, I've got the back door open and it's like the wind's kind of whipped up and it keeps moving that door, so excuse me. As far as techniques go, and you know that I'm not a huge one for techniques, well, I'm not really at all, because if you're doing them from a place of lack, they're just not useful at all. And we tend to use techniques when we are in a place of lack. That's the problem. But this is the one, I think. It really is, because you are drifting off anyway, so you're feeling very relaxed anyway. Your brain, it doesn't have the capacity to do much more than deal with the words that you're saying to it at the time. So installing that new program doesn't really have the capacity to start building resistance and start thinking of all the things why this won't happen. And actually, you're not manifesting anything as such. You are simply, it's post-hypnotic suggestion, and really nothing more than that. That's all you are doing is performing self-hypnosis, and we know how effective that is. You hear about people going for hypnosis and being cured of smoking in like 1 or 2 sessions, and I know somebody that happened with. Was a really heavy smoker and just would not touch one now. For love nor money, just wouldn't touch a cigarette, and can't even understand why he ever did. So that's how effective it is. An instruction to the subconscious mind is just amazing, really. Anyway, I hope this is useful. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, I'd love for you to do that.